Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on the video, and as always, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We are joined today for Chuggy Chat, as always, with Randy Chism. How are you doing today, Randy?
Good. How are you doing?
I am doing excellently. So today, or for this edition of Chuggy Chat, I thought we would talk about league bowling. We're gonna talk about a couple different things regarding league bowling. Myself, I'm going to talk about the benefits of league as an outlet for competition and as a way to challenge yourself for your personal best. And also, for some people that are competitive like myself, it's a way to get that out without having to shell out too much money for, say, a tournament where you may or may not be guaranteed cash. Usually in most leagues, you're guaranteed some sort of cash prize at the end, no matter how good or bad you do. And Randy is going to talk about leagues more from a different standing of what types of leagues there are, like scratch and handicap leagues. And anything else you want to add about that?
Yeah, it'll be more about the house bowler, the beginners that maybe want to get better or they just want to bowl in a handicap league once a week, whatever it is. And then Chuggy's going to talk a little bit more about the upper level after that and what you can possibly do to prepare.
All right, sounds good. So, we'll go in order here. So since we're going from beginner to more advanced intermediate, we'll go ahead and let Randy talk his piece about leagues. And as I said, this the goal of the Chuggy Chats. It's been kind of erratic. We're new. We're still trying to figure this out. But I think the goal of the Chuggy Chats, we're going to try to give a perspective from a coach and instructor versus an active competitive bowler. So that's what you can kind of look forward to from here on out with these. So go ahead, Randy. Why don't you give us a lesson here?
Well, when we're talking about league play, we want to remember that there are many reasons a bowler would want to bowl in a league or multiple leagues. It could be date night once a week. It could be a women's or men's league, handicap. It could be beginning league. It could be a little more advanced league. It could be friends you want to bowl with. It could be more relaxed and fun oriented.
Yep.
Things like that. So there's a level for absolutely everybody. The handicap leagues are meant a little more for being laid back and a lot of the once a weekers or maybe even twice a weekers, but they really don't want to get a lot better. They just want to go down and have a great time and maybe relieve the stress from their everyday jobs and stuff like that. So there's a level for everybody, and there's a lot of different reasons everybody has for bowling at the level they do. And so I didn't want anybody out there to think that you really have to be good to get in a league. I now have two students that are total beginners, and they're really excited about what they're learning. And they said, "Well, will I ever be good enough to get in a league?" I said, "You can get in one right now." So there's something for everybody. And
Those two students, have they joined the league? Are they currently
this summer,
in league?
this summer, as a
This
matter of
summer?
fact,
All
yeah,
right.
they're
You have
both going to get in one. They're going to, you can meet new friends. It's just it offers so much. I have a lot of senior bowlers too that gives them it gets them out of the house once or twice or three times a week, depending how many leagues they bowl, and they have all their friends down there too, and they just carry on conversations going up and down the lanes, and that's their whole day out, and,
Oh yeah,
and
I've seen
it's
it.
just an awesome atmosphere. It's very cool. So, so as far as handicap, I want to explain a little bit about what that means. A lot of people out there may not know exactly. There's different percentages of handicap leagues might use. They vote on whatever. But handicap basically is meant for to balance out the higher and the lower average bowlers.
Yeah.
For instance, a lower average bowler would have a lot more handicap than a higher average bowler. Uh, let's say if you had a scratch bowler and they didn't get any handicap at all, and then you had a beginning bowler, they would get lots of handicap. So that handicap gets added on to their game when they're done, game one, game two, game three. So you add in all that handicap at the end, and it's a lot easier. This is a misconception. A lot of handicap bowlers think that it's not fair to go against scratch bowlers in their handicap leagues. What they don't understand is that that handicap actually gives them an advantage. So it's a lot easier for a lower average bowler to get all that handicap and maybe throw an extra spare
Yep.
or maybe an extra strike, whether it's by luck or not. That's going to be a lot tougher for the scratch bowler to maybe bowl another double or a turkey over their average. So the scratch bowler has to be on every single game, whereas the lower average bowlers, they get this handicap and it kind of evens it out, and they can continue to have fun and maybe win a lot of games. It's very tough for scratch bowlers to bowl in handicap leagues and win games. As
It is.
yeah, as Chuggy mentioned a little bit ago, I mean, when you're spotting a team 130, 150, 200, 300 pins handicap, that's pretty hard to make up. So I just wanted to get that out there so everybody understands that the scratch bowlers bowling in handicap leagues really do not have an advantage. And you can look at almost any standing sheet in a handicap league and pick out the higher average teams and see where they're at in the standings. I bet you they're not around first. So maybe they're in there just to get a little practice or something, and or have fun maybe with their spouses, whatever. And but the handicap is meant for handicap bowlers, the lower average bowlers, and to equal the playing field, if you will.
Just to be clear, handicap is essentially like bonus pins that are added
There you
on
go.
to
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
score, your scratch score. So um, there are ways to abuse handicapping, but we're not talking about that this section.
Yeah, that's a whole
that
nother
that'll
ballgame.
be a whole other video.
Yeah, or two or three.
Or yeah, exactly. But yeah, and so as he talked about, there are handicap leagues, and so um, like with the handicap league, as he was saying, depending on how good the bowlers are or aren't that you might be playing, one team might be giving up, 50 to 100 or more pins. And so, in a situation like that, a scratch bowler is going to have a difficult time making that up. But like you said, handicap, the idea, the theory behind it is essentially to make the game fair for everybody that wants to play, and that's what we strive for in this sport. We want it to be fair. We want everybody to have fun, because it's bowling. Bowling has gone through enough. Like we don't need any more mess.
And there's still leagues out there for all levels, and it's just a beautiful sport. It still is, always has been, always will be, and there's something for everybody out there.
Absolutely. And I was going to talk a little bit too about the different types of leagues there are. Now, there are sanctioned and unsanctioned leagues, and what that means is the USBC, for people that don't know, is essentially the governing body for that sets the rules and regulations, bylaws, that sort of things for how bowling tournaments and leagues run and are operated here in the United States. They are the be-all, end-all. So what they say goes. Now, with the USBC sanctioned league, those are going to be more competitive leagues where you'll have standings. You'll be on a team, of anywhere from 2 to 5 people. You'll bowl a different team every week. Some leagues offer different oil patterns that you can bowl on every couple of weeks. But what a sanctioned league is going to do is usually there's going to be some kind of payout, a cash payout at the end. Depending on the league, usually most leagues, all the teams will get a payout, but you'll have a higher payout for your top 5, top 10 teams. Depending on the size of the league and the size of the pot, you may have a league that hands out superlatives. So, for instance, highest average, highest game, highest scratch series, things of that nature. So, if you're a competitive bowler or you're looking to get more into competition, I think a league is a perfect thing to do. Because it'll kind of quench that thirst. I bowled in leagues, and every week I look forward to league night, getting my competition mode, getting my game face on. And it's not just for fun. I'm competing for something. I'm competing for money, and it's kind of a safer bet if you are a competitive bowler than say bowling in a tournament, where you don't have as many options, and you may not cash out. There's not a guarantee that you're going to walk away from a tournament with cash. So if you are the kind of person that kind of likes insta results, a lot of reward without a lot of risk, then I think a league is perfect. But as Randy talked about too, there are people that like to do date night and things like that, and there are also unsanctioned leagues that kind of cater perfectly to those situations. Now, an unsanctioned league is going to be a league that is not governed by the USBC, meaning there's not going to be a cash payout or anything like that, but you'll usually get some sort of prize or reward like a bowling ball, a bowling bag, a pair of shoes, a shirt, something like that. And so, those leagues are a lot more for fun. Those are the leagues that you'll see uh, a lot of mixed, like adults and juniors bowling in those leagues, and
Tell them about your unsanctioned league you just found out about.
oh yeah, my unsanctioned league. So yeah, someone had to point out to me that apparently I bowl unsanctioned leagues during the summer. My game face is in wintertime and in the fall, but there is actually a method to my madness. So I bowl there's two reasons I bowl unsanctioned during the summer leagues. One, there aren't really that many sanctioned summer leagues because everybody is not bowling during the summer.
Vacations or whatever.
Vacations, exactly. Like, there's other stuff to do besides bowl. But the reason I bowl the unsanctioned leagues is, as I was explaining, a lot of times you'll get prizes at the end. So I kind of use those unsanctioned league to build my arsenal cheaply. So the past couple of years, I've done a league where you get a ball at the end of it, and we're not talking this little chintzy plastic ball. These are high end, top of the line. Pros use these balls, and for what you end up paying in league dues versus what the ball is, you actually save a little bit of money. So you can do that. That's one thing I do. But I basically use leagues in the summer to gear up for fall. Plus, you get perks with leagues if you bowl in a Bolero house, and I'm sure even some of the private houses, have league perks. You get discounts, you get free games every week. So, aside from competition and getting out, there are fringe benefits to bowling in leagues, as I said, and if you work them right, then you can bowl for free practically all the time. I know I do.
Yes. Yeah, take advantage of that for
Take
sure.
advantage
And
of
it's
it.
cooler inside. Air
Yeah,
conditioning.
absolutely. So yeah, that's a little bit about leagues. If you have any more specific questions, there's always a local bowling house. Give them a call, go onto their website, ask around, get a league started at your job. Bowling is fun. You don't have to be good. You can always get better, but you don't have to be good.
No, you enjoy it on any level, whatever you choose, whatever your comfort level is. Just go have fun.
Yeah, drink. Like that's what most people do.
Yeah, there you go. Summer especially.
What was that shirt I saw? My drinking team has a bowling problem. That's a classic
Yeah,
one.
that is a classic. That's a good one.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for.
I want to just
Oh,
touch base here on
yeah,
the scratch
sure.
because we talked a little bit about the handicap and the difference between handicap, a bowler and a scratch bowler. The scratch bowler, again, doesn't get any handicap. So um, let's say there's a scratch league going, no handicap. It doesn't mean that they're all high average bowlers. They may be 175, 180, but they want to bowl with the 210 and 220 average bowlers, but they just don't get any handicap. So they're kind of going head to head along with their whatever team they're on, their teammates. They're scratched, so they don't get any handicap in winning games or losing games or high scores or anything like that. So they just want to compete. They want to get better, and they want to be around the better bowlers. So in the scratch leagues, for instance, nobody gets any handicap, and I just wanted to throw that out there. That's the big difference between handicap and scratch.
Absolutely.
Absolutely no handicap in scratch.
Absolutely. So get out there, join a league. Don't be intimidated by leagues. Like, yeah. Oh, sure. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. Few more.
And then another area with league bowling is instruction. It can be helpful for beginning bowlers. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a couple students that are beginners, and they're going to get in a summer league. And they can get instruction. They want to get better. They want to bowl with their family, but they want to compete a little bit against them. They don't want to get embarrassed by throwing a lot of gutter balls and stuff like that. So maybe instructors can also guide them in getting into the right league for them, and so they can have fun at their level. And as they progress, then they can get in a higher handicap league, and then maybe a scratch league down the road. So all ages, all levels of bowlers. I wanted to mention this in preparing for league bowling. The great Len Nicholson, you can find him on Facebook also. He's a little bit older, but he's still doing really super well. Was one of the great instructors. He knows the old days and stuff like that. He always taught 3 things in preparing for league play. Make sure you're properly warmed up. Make sure your knee bend is strong. Make sure your balance is good. And make sure you are always thinking 100%. So keep those 4 things in mind. You can't go wrong with those. Just build around those. But have fun.
Yes, as always, have fun. So please, thank you for clicking on the video. We hope this gave you a little bit of insight about leagues. And like I was saying earlier, don't be intimidated. Get on the internet, give your local house a call, see what they have going on. It is honestly one of the best things that you could do. And you know, they're
Year-round,
relatively
weather doesn't matter. Have
and
fun.
they're relatively pretty cheap. So go out, join a league.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Keep on
rocking.
chugging.
Keep rocking.